Hi, my name is Tony Van Veen, CEO of Discmakers. I recently read an article in the Music Business Weekly newsletter that mentioned how today there are 60,000 tracks uploaded to Spotify every single day. 60,000 a day. That is a new track uploaded almost every second. Clearly, when your next release comes out, there is lots of competition for the listener's attention, as if you didn't know that already. So how can you compete in this hyper-crowded market? Let me start by saying this. It's always been hard being an independent artist, not just today. It's very hard. Artists today lament about how difficult it is to make money from streaming, and you're not exactly wrong. But what many forget, or don't know if they're too young, is that being an independent artist was even more challenging when we were living in the physical era. A long, long time ago, before 2004, when the iTunes Store started, or maybe a little longer before iTunes started as a service on your phone, you actually needed a physical disc to get fans to hear your music. And while it was nice to sell that disc for $15 in the store, it was almost impossible for us indie artists who were releasing product at the time to get distribution and get our records into record stores nationwide, to get our records in front of fans to discover and buy. No distributor back in the day would take a chance on an emerging artist. They didn't want to get stuck with the returns if those records didn't sell. And that made it very hard as an artist to get heard and start building a fan base. Today, that paradigm is totally flipped on its head. For about $10, you can distribute a single digitally and have it available immediately to a worldwide audience that numbers in the hundreds of millions, like right there on their phone. So the market access that was so hard 20 years ago is at your fingertips almost for free today. Unfortunately, achieving success has not become any easier. There is so much competition for listeners' attention, 60,000 tracks a day, and payments per stream are tiny. For you to break through the clutter, the basic question is, and always was and always will be, how do I get these people to actually listen to my music? Interestingly enough, the same strategy for getting people to listen to your music applies today that did 20 years ago. You have to build and work your own fan base starting locally. You see, here's the thing most artists don't get. It's not Spotify's job to promote your music. Spotify is a record store of sorts whose job their only job is to have the music that fans want to listen to, period. And by the way, I talk about Spotify because they are the leading streaming platform by subscribers, but this applies to every streaming platform, right? Apple Music, Amazon, Tidal, Deezer, the list goes on and on. It is also not your distributor's job to push your music. The distributor merely provides the pipes, the pipelines that get your music to the streaming sites. So when it comes to creating demand for your music, there's only one person responsible, and that is you, the artist. And while there's more noise than ever in the marketplace, you do also have more access to the global marketplace than ever. And you have more free and really cheap tools than ever before to market and promote your music. So let's do a quick refresher on how to create that demand for your music in a crowded marketplace. And let's start with the basics. If you want any shot at success at all, you need to write great songs. If you want your music to go viral, for fans to share your music with other fans, your new song has to be great. Not just great enough so your mother and your boyfriend loved it, but great enough that a random fan of your genre of music would want to share it and can love it, and great enough that a label A&R rep can envision it being a hit. How do you get your songs to be that great? It takes a lot of work, a lot of writing, asking for feedback, co-writing with other writers, listening and studying the hits and their song structure, taking classes and workshop with hit songwriters or look them up on YouTube. Great songs are the baseline for achieving success. A great song doesn't guarantee a hit, but a mediocre song guarantees failure. Now, assuming your songs are great, you have work to do to build that fan base, and you have to do that work. Engage with your fans on social media. Release a steady stream of singles to gradually build your fan base and your play count. Spend some money marketing your music on Facebook and Instagram when your new release comes out. Once your fan base gets going, you want to make it as easy as possible for potential fans to find your music. Before your new release comes out, set up a pre-save campaign on the various streaming sites. This puts your music right into those algorithmic new music recommendation playlists that your fans get from the streaming platforms on the day that new music comes out on Fridays, like Spotify's Release Radar. If you don't know how to do this, just Google how to set up a pre-save campaign on Spotify or Apple Music, and you will find instructions on how to get there. You also want to submit your song to some curated playlists in your genre of music. Do your homework, figure out which playlist you think your music would fit, and who knows, you may get added to some big playlist and add a bunch of streams and fans potentially. Playlists today are a discovery vehicle, much like radio was in the past. To figure out how to get your music on curated playlists, check out our friends at the Indie Spotify Bible, who have a list of contacts for over 4,000 Spotify playlists. And of course, you want to let your fans know when your new music is out via email and on your social media that it's out there for them to enjoy. Now, once this is done, with just one release, it's not going to make your fans come flocking. Building a successful, sustainable music career takes an investment of money and of time. You need to record music and release music regularly so that your fans don't forget about you, and so that you can add new fans with each new release. Every song or album stands on the shoulders of the previous songs and albums that you have released. The goal is for every album to do better than the last, gain you more fans, and gain you more streams. And as your cycles of songwriting, recording, releasing, promoting, and yes, performing continue, they build a flywheel effect that will grow your fan base if your songs and your shows are great. So don't give up. It takes time, it takes an investment, but with all the work that you do, if you do it all, there's success out there in your future. I hope you found my pep talk helpful, and I look forward to seeing you next time.